1973. The 70s were a great decade of progressive organisations. You had the Sierra Club, which became Greenpeace. You had Friends of the Earth also forming in the 1970s. But we weren't called the Green Party then, we were called the People Party. And that was about the principle that unregulated capitalism was damaging people and damaging the planet. And it was right that we had an organisation like this formed, a political party, because the 80s saw a rise of money and growth at all cost. It became the accepted economic sort of system that we would all have to adhere to. That it didn't mind the cost to people or the cost to the planet, more money, close a shipyard, close a coal mine, but let the bankers in the square mile make a fortune because they balance out, apparently. And Reaganism and Thatcherism. You remember Reagan, he was famous for championing trickle-down economics. Does anyone know what trickle-down economics was called before Reagan got hold of it? It was called horse and sparrow economics. And the theory was if you fed the horse enough oats, and the sparrows could pick a few oats out of the manure. No knew why they changed the name. And that is the overarching system that we are fighting against. So, hand in hand with the destruction of the right to the worker and that contract that increased performance, increased productivity will bring increased standards of living and increased services and increased wages. Hand in hand with the destruction of that was the destruction of the ecosystem. And those what are called environmental services that the planet brings us. That's clean air, clean water, good food. So those were just to be ground up and destroyed. So the fight before us as a political party is the fight against that capitalist ideology that people and planet don't matter and profit is king. What else does it destroy? It destroys communities. It destroys marginalised people and minorities. The rise in hate against the trans community is just one of the fights that we have to face. Disabled people, minority groups, displaced people and minor cultures are just to be destroyed in the fight for growth. An attack on any one of those groups I see as an attack on us as a whole. And we must unite. Whether it's trans people or Palestinians, trade unionists, they come for them, they come for us. Now, Martin's mentioned Lower Teesdale. I've been out on doors, knocking and speaking to voters. And the message that's coming loud and clear from those voters is that the Conservatives are a joke. Labour are despised. But voters want change. And the seductive message from Reform of burn it all down, they're all corrupt, that is seductive to certain people. But even those people on the doorstep now are starting to see the threat to them from Trumpism. And that message of hope, real hope, and change, real change from the Green Party is our strength. So while Reform are backed by millionaires, we continue to make progress, winning elections, gaining ground, and harnessing grassroots activism. So we offer that real hope and real change, a constructive revolution to deliver a fairer, greener future. So join us on that journey. Help us build a fairer society and build a future you can be proud of. That's why I'm in the Green Party, and that's why I'd like to join us on our election campaigns, whether they're in Lower Teesdale or in Darlington. Thank you very much.